It starts with this, a person that you miss. Mine draws a blank. I wanna go back to the early days when life was an escape. Now I just wait for better days. I lost myself in your reality. Lost myself. I lost myself in your reality. Lost myself. I feel that life, according to a friend, we're all shrink wrapped in families and making ends meet, stuck in jobs we'll never leave. I never wanna be like that, so I hide.
Hello, who are you? Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Oh yeah, baby. It's Monday. Monday. It's freaking Monday, bros. What are you doing? What are you doing on Monday? Oh, I forgot to turn on my fancy lighting setup. Look at this. Hold on, there we go. Is it green? Let's change color. Let's change colors today. Blue? What color are we going for? Hello? We're going for purple. Oh, purple, you can't tell. Let's go pink. Taste the rainbow. Yeah, taste the rainbow. Okay, there we go. We got a pink light on in the background. Smooth. Very smooth. Very smooth beginning of the show. As you will notice, there's a poll up here. There's a poll. You got to answer the poll. That's the rules. Or not. I don't care. It's a joke poll anyhow. It's not a real one. What's up? It is August 21st, otherwise known as Monday of the year 2023. And boy howdy, is it ever a Monday. Aubrey is here giving a shout out with the woot. 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 Yes. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, become a member button, and then head over to Patreon and become a patron. You know, you got to do all those things. That's the rules. That's the rules around here. Because we lost another member. Boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, we lost another member. Yeah, we lost another member. We're down to 55 members. That's not good enough, guys. That's not good enough. Your boy's not going to be able to pay the bills with 55 members. That's just a fact. Namely, for numerous reasons, but that's just not enough. Let's see. Noser is here, though, letting us know what's going on. Just hanging out in the hospital with an intestinal blockage. 3 days of no food. I'm about to start gnawing on this bed. That is brutal. Hopefully that clears up for you fairly soon. It sounds like you're already at the hospital, so hopefully they'll get that figured out for you, and you'll be able to no longer have a blockage and not have to eat blankets and pillows at the hospital. Or just chewing on them, really. I mean, I don't know if you'd be able to get them down. I don't know if you'd be able to stomach them, you know? So, hopefully you have some better options for food in the very near future. I do not like having to be... I've been on that don't have any food thing before, and it's not fun. Don't enjoy. Don't enjoy. Do I enjoy that? No. It's a negative. Negative, folks. I don't enjoy that. Fish Fam Link is here. Fish Fam Link, what's up? How you doing? It's a fish and a wave. Is that a tuna? It looks like a tuna. I think that's a tuna in the chat. Let me know if you think that's a tuna in the chat. Bracken says chair. Oh, should I do a chair stream? Should I do like an XQC chair stream where I just play like movies and my chair is just sitting here? Should I do that? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I don't think I would ever do that. It seems at the very least disingenuous, you know? At the very least. But I guess some people think that the chair on the stream is considered transformative, right? So, I don't know. My opinion is if you didn't make the content, don't post it up. Don't post it up. Just don't do it. Especially if you're not critiquing it or doing anything like that. So, I know H3H3 and XQC and those guys had a big debate about it. XQC looked like a bumbling idiot, probably because he generally seems to come across that way. Seems to be a gambling streamer that got big, and now he's trying to bust into like intellectual debates with somebody who really only had everything to gain from just chilling and letting that guy run off the rails. So, I would have to say my critique of that debate was XQC got owned by Ethan, and it was a really piss poor showing, realistically. Yeah. Linda Worth is here, saying hi, everyone. Well, hi, Linda. How you doing? Good to see you. James N is here. What's up, James? How you doing? Okay. Hello. It's Monday, and we're getting warmed up here. I got a little dust in my eyes, so bear with me. I was sanding some drywall in the new studio fish room, and I got some dust in my eyes, bros. So you know how it is. If you are a member or a patron, you can get over onto our Discord, and the phone lines are open. If you want to call in, you can on the show. Your voice will be on the stream, but not your image. So we don't really need to know what you're doing physically. But if you want to call in with your voice parts, you can do that. Getting some notifications on the Discord. People are posting. We have some posts from Derek, and Reaver yesterday posted a variegated plant. I'm not sure what kind of plant that is, but it is amazing. And if you're not in the Discord, you're missing out on that. So the whole plant is variegated. One side of the leaf is purple, the other side of the leaf is green, heading all the way up the plant, and the flower is even variegated yellow and red. Cool stuff. Cool stuff on the Discord. Yeah. Derek is working on the lab, or else I'd jump in the voice channel. Too loud in here. That's right. You got all those air pumps and bubbles and sponge filters and all sorts of stuff like that going on in there. It's probably too loud. So, yeah. But no worries, Derek. We appreciate you just being around, man. We appreciate you being around. And shout out to your fish room. It looks like it's coming along quite well. And if you're in the Discord, you can check out what Derek's doing on his project. Recently, I've seen some people posting about drilling glass aquariums. Some people have been failing. Some people have been succeeding. It's a back and forth kind of game. Dave posted a video of him drilling and having some slight blowout issues in the past, but I know I've posted a few videos about those. I had made a new one. But I was told by certain people involved to not post it. So I had made a new one. So I'll have to make a new, fresh 2023 version of how to drill your aquarium. Maybe this year. Maybe, I don't know. Really depends on. I'm going to be honest with you. It depends on members and whatnot. It really does. Jen Yu is here. Hello, Joel, and everyone in chat. What's up, Jen? How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well on this Monday. We're doing fine around here. We're running through our list of things going on. We'll get to the everything is on fire in a minute here. I'm going through the Discord to get reminded of all of the things to talk about. There actually is something fun to talk about fish-wise. A new puffer has entered the chat. A new puffer has entered the chat, my guys. Let me find the article here real quick, and we'll run over the new puffer stuff first, because I love it when I get sent stuff like this. One of our one of our YouTubers, or not YouTubers, YouTube followers, whoever, I don't know, friends of the show. There we go. That's the way to do it. One of our friends of the show sent us this article, and I highly encourage anybody out there to send me an article if there's something cool like this, fish related, that comes up. And let's go over to the main story here. Is this the main story? It's loading. The Zoological Journal. I never know how to say this. Linnaean? I don't know how to say Linnaean. Hold on, I'm going to look it up. Let's look it up. Linnean. Pronunciation. Oh, crap. I clicked on the wrong one. Did I click on? I clicked on the wrong one. Oops. Hold on. There. Hold on. L-E-A-N. There we go. N. Where's this S coming from? There we go.
Linnean.
Linnean. Is that right?
Linnean.
Let's do it slow.
Linnean.
Linnean. How to say Linnean? Okay, Linnean. It's easier than we thought. The Zoological Journal of the Linnean Society, Evolutionary History, Biology, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. They're characterized by modified jaws, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is just the Tetradontidae pufferfish is the most... wait, hold on. They are characterized by modified jaws with 4 dental plates and the ability to inflate their bodies. Okay, there we go. Pufferfish. Let me see here. What's going on here? Oh my god. The garbage man's here, banging around in the background. Let's see. Where is it? Etymology, blah, blah, blah. Let's open this up. Okay, here we go. I probably should have prepped this. I probably should have prepped this a little bit better because I'm realizing I'm just here like reading the article. Okay. Spheroides camilla, which I probably said that wrong. Chill. I don't know if there's a pronunciation for it yet. A new species of pufferfish, a cryptic species from Brazilian waters, marine, formerly known as Spheroides spengleri, discovered through integrative taxonomy is described. The research also propose a nomenclatural change given the position of Colomesius deeply nested within the Spheroides. Therefore, the Amazonian freshwater pufferfish of the genus Colomesus are now Spheroides acellus combined now with the Amazon pufferfish. Okay, so needless to say, I got to go down here. Where is it? Okay, so yeah, the new taxonomy looks like this. Let me get this right here. God, I'm realizing like I don't say half of this crap out loud. I read it super fast in my head, and it doesn't come out of my mouth hole very well. But that's just a reality that we all have to live in. Okay. Desktop capture, smart selection. Okay, so now they look like this. Boom. There we go. Okay. And now we've got a picture here. There. Boom. Oh, I need my arrow. Oh my god, guys. I need my arrow. Remove that. Remove that. We bring the arrow up. And we activate. Alright. There we go. So the new species has been identified. These guys were formerly up here. They were all Colomesis, right? Now they've moved. So this is the new fish right here, the Spheroides camila right here up at the top. A brand new pufferfish has entered the chat. And I don't know if I have the ability to zoom that in better so that people could look at it. Actually, hold on, let's go like this. We'll close that. We'll remove that. We got to go over here. We got to push this button. We got to push this button. And then let's just go like this. Okay, boom. We'll get just this area here. And we'll make sure it's behind the arrow. There we go. This is much better. People will be looking at this on their phone and be like, oh my God, I can't really see what's going on. But this might work a little bit better. All right, here's the new fish right here. New species identified is the Spheroides camila, which actually is a saltwater pufferfish, which is actually, to me, I'm going to be honest with you guys, like, if there's a new saltwater pufferfish, that is a big deal as far as I'm concerned. Can I squish this? How do I... Is it Alt? Oh, I need to hit Alt, not Control. Duh. Get on the corner. There we go. We'll trim that down. And we don't need to see these guys. They've already been identified. Okay, there we go. And they've started moving around the species of pufferfish. These guys have all been moved out as they've been getting more and more identified. And it's pretty wild to me that a marine pufferfish is being found. But it's a constant reminder to me that there's so much going on in our oceans that we just have no clue what is happening. Yeah, so all of the Amazonian freshwater pufferfish of the genus Colomesis are now Spheroides acellus, right? So these are all Spheroides now, as opposed to them having been in the Colomesis family, right? So these guys all stay in the Colomesis. These guys move up, not up, they just move into a better identification of the acellus, right? And so it's pretty interesting. I didn't, when we were in the Amazon, we didn't even really get to see any of these pufferfish. Obviously, we weren't in the marine area, but we didn't even get to see any of the fresh water pufferfish. We never really found any while we were there. So, yeah. And I think this is pretty big news. And I think one of the bigger things is that I think the original description of the Spheroides, I don't know how to say this right. Cicadas? I don't know. I think that's right. Is 1801 was the last one, and 2013 was the last combined. Basically, like them figuring out the species. The last entry was in 2013. So 10 years have gone by since really too much has been done. But I find it to be. This is one of the pieces of good news. What I'm going to say is that, like, this is one of the pieces of good news that has come up personally for me in probably the last little bit of time. And I'm pretty stoked by it because, you turn on the news and whatnot, it's all bad news, right? It's actually pretty nice to see something that is sort of positive and, the humans are actually doing something beneficial at this point in time, and I think that is inspiring, and it definitely gives, to me, gives a good feeling, I think, is probably just the easiest way to describe it. It's like I feel good about the fact that, like, puffers are being described, people are still working on this stuff, and it's not just going by the wayside. Yeah, so this I can't get access to this because I need to pay. It's behind a paywall, so I can't give you guys the evolutionary history, biogeography, and a new species of Spheroides is actually behind a paywall. I have to pay $40 US. So We don't have that money right now. Sorry, guys. We don't have that money to read that article. But that, I guess my main reason for bringing that up was I'm not a puffer expert, right? I'm not really an expert. I wouldn't say I have a lot of, okay, I'm not really an expert in really anything. I have a lot of experience with things. So I have some opinions on certain things, and, but I've never gone to college for biology or ichthyology or any of that stuff. Would I have liked to do that? Sure. Would I have probably pursued a different life path? Had that been an opportunity for me? Yeah, probably. I'd probably be in a lab right now, just working on projects, right? But this is where we are. This is where we are, so we have to use our brains a little bit and get inspired in the ways that we can. And the way that I'm inspired is that I'm happy that doctors are actually still working on identifying puffers, and that at some point in time, be able to utilize that information in our fish keeping hobby without having to attend school for like 9 years. So that's a big benefit as far as I'm concerned. And, do my best to, at the very least, pass that on. And I wanted to bring on that to go, hey, if you guys have something to pass on, email it to me, message it to me. You can Facebook message me if you want. Like I said, if you're a member or whatnot, you could be on the Discord, so it's much easier to message me through Discord. I don't necessarily check. I don't necessarily check everything as far as email on a regular basis, but I do get notifications for messages and stuff. Oh, good. My new pants are on the way. Guys, this is just one of those things. I talk about not checking my email, so I go to check my email, and I find out my new pants are on the way, and my networking guy has fixed the problem. Networking guy fixed stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this cool email time, It's good times. Are they space pants? God damn it, they are space pants. They better be space pants. As a matter of fact, I emailed this company because I was asking them because the butt ripped out of my pants. I don't know if this ever happened to you guys, but when you're power working and you're working super hard, the seam in the butt of your pants may or may not be getting stressed. You know what I mean? If you're doing deep power squats and you're picking up heavy stuff and your butt's sticking out, because you want to keep your back straight, you're doing power squats. You know what I'm talking about? Keep your back straight, stick your butt out, bend the knees, boy. Pick up some heavy weight. Well, that'll stick your butt right up against that seam. It's applying pressure against that seam. Well, I had a blowout on a pair of my pants. That seam ripped right there. The seam still exists. The cloth, whatever the cloth is made out of, some kind of space age technology, so they might be space pants, you know what I'm saying? That ripped right out. And I don't particularly have that big of a butt, so you know what I mean? It's not even a super power booty move, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have like a big old booty, right? So, I mean, if I did have a big booty, I would just be proud of ripping the pants out, but this just seemed egregious. But luckily, there's a local gal here that fixes my pants for me. She seamstresses them up, and just like any hillbilly you've ever met in your entire life, she fixes up my pants, and I do yard work for her. You know what I'm saying? We don't need a cash exchange. We don't need a cash situation. You do some work for me, I'll do some work for you. You know what I mean? That's how that works. One hand washes the other with an R in there. Throw an R in there. Derek says, most definitely ripped a pair of jeans or two doing landscaping and lifting. That's right. I mean, you get that deep power squat. You get deep down in there, you flex your thighs. Flexing your thighs. Getting the knees bent. Next thing you know, boom, blowout in the booty. People are wondering what's going on over there. Does he have insane farts? Is it a fart situation? That's what they like to think because they're weird. The cool team says I can see now. That's right. Derek Palmer says I should do a saltwater puffer tank. Man, I'll tell you this much. That would be sort of a brutal. I think that would be a fairly brutal tank to take care of. I think it would be. I mean, it's certainly doable. It feels like a really difficult tank. It feels like a really difficult tank to me to try and keep that up. Skog Shrimp and Stuff with the member for 9 months. Hey, Skogs is at the producer level. You know what I'm saying? So, Fish Fam Link, you got to thank him twice for being a member. He's not even a member. He's a producer, right? You got to get right. You got to get right with the titles around here. You know what I'm saying? You got to get right. You got to salute the president or salute the producer, you know? The executive producer is on set. You got to give him the props, you know what I mean? The cool team says exchanging of services is always rewarding. That's right. That's right. The reward is the exchange, right? The reward is the exchange. Let's check our poll here real quick. Hold on. What? Okay, there we go. The poll is, where's everyone at? I think everyone's at work or asleep. That's currently winning. Work and asleep is currently winning. The bathroom and vacation are way behind, bros. I want to put a puffer in the 120, but freshwater. I definitely want to get into saltwater at some point. Yeah, a puffer, like a decent-sized puffer or the Shota Denai puffers are great in a 120, or even a, I think hairy puffers, I'm slowly but surely falling in love with hairy puffers again. They are definitely murder machines, though, so you got to be kind of prepared for that. So yeah, I mean, and I do have a soft spot for the green spot puffer, and having a big pack of green spot puffers in a tank. But the downside was feeding them all the time was a little rough. The food and everything was a little bit rough because they would just annihilate everything that was around. All right, let's talk about the title here. Those of you know, most of you have likely seen that the wildfire in Maui has definitely shined a bright light on just how bad wildfires can be. I think I think it's kind of it's incredibly awful that they're thinking it's likely the death toll is somewhere in the thousands now, 1,000 people or something. There's a lot of people still missing, and that is it's pretty terrible, I have to admit. Hold on, let me see what's going on here. Well, my air quality has returned to reasonable levels. We're now back into the green. We're back into the green air on the air chart, the air quality monitor situation. Yesterday we were in the orange, getting into the red for a little bit yesterday with our smoke. We have the smoke going on, and the wildfires are everywhere. Now, I know with the Maui situation, I think the Maui situation is so far from home for most people that that it's pretty easy for average people to sort of ignore, right? And I think that's unfortunate because the nature of that just being out on the island and people aren't really thinking about Hawaii all that much. It's an awful tragedy, but I don't think that most people are really paying all that much attention to it. And I think that is a bummer. But it definitely has brought a lot of things into the news, as far as the wildfire stuff going on. But this is what the wildfire situation looks like in my neck of the woods out here. And basically, Canada is on fire. Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho all have a lot of fires going. British Columbia is en fuego. The Northwest Territories, Calgary, Edmonton, everything's on fire north of me. And it is blatantly just out of control. As I believe David Mosscorp, I don't know who this guy is, but it looks like a map you'd see in a video game right before the game over. Yeah, I mean, that's what this basically is looking like right now. But there are fires everywhere. There's a giant fire in Spokane, Washington. Be aware to not don't ever call it Spokane. Just to be clear, don't call it Spokane. The Medical Lake fire has burned down a ton of stuff, and you know, I don't even know how crazy it is. 12,000 acres. It's only 10%. It's only 10% contained. Hundreds of homes and buildings in Medical Lake and the surrounding area on Friday. It's the Gray Fire. If you guys want to look it up, I know it's on national news now, so it's starting to show up. But well, I lost what I was reading. So, you know, I don't know what we're gonna do about this, because wildfire season used to be a big deal. It used to be a big deal, and for some reason now, it's just out of this world. Like, I don't know what is happening where, like, cities are just being burnt down all over the place. Or not cities, I mean towns and whatnot. Obviously not giant metropolis areas haven't burned down or anything like that. But I don't recall a time where cities were just getting burned down, towns are getting burned down, people are losing all their homes and stuff. It's always, hey, the fire got close, but we saved all the buildings. But for some reason, we've moved into a stage where we're just letting towns burn down. I don't understand. But it's beyond the pale at this point. It's not making a lot of sense. You know, I've been in the area. I've been surrounded by forests my whole life. We've always have wildfire season. Sometimes there's some smoky days and stuff like that. But it seems like every year now, because at least over the last 5 years, any stuff that we have had scheduled in August or September, it's all been canceled. It's all been canceled because everything's on fire. And this year is exactly the same. So we're not going to be able to do any rafting this year, which is a bummer, but okay, I can handle that. Unfortunately, I have a lot of friends out in Spokane and stuff that there's just a lot going on in their neck of the woods, and we're probably not going to be able to go visit out in Spokane again this year because of these massive fires and stuff going on. So I just don't understand what really has changed, other than the fact that we're literally dealing with climate change like in real time. Like it's actually happening now, which is unfortunate because we've been talking about this shit for 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. That the effects that we're going to do on the climate is going to lead to all of these natural disasters, and now here we are dealing with them in real time. And this is something that somebody highlighted to me the other day Over the past 5 years, the U.S. has experienced an average of $18 billion climate disasters each year, up from $6.7 billion disaster per year in the 2000s. That includes 18 climate disasters in 2022, which caused a total of $175 billion in damages. And the weird thing is that these natural disasters are climbing by numbers every year, right? Like, it's just fucking crazy. Like, I didn't realize proportionally the differences. And as I was talking about this, somebody had brought up that the natural disasters, for instance, one of them that they brought up was, natural disasters in 1980. So 1980 supposedly had 3 natural disasters, and the reason that they brought this up is because that was the year that Mount St. Helens blew up, where I live, right? I live in Washington. Mount St. Helens exploded. Very big deal. Very big deal, right? Very big deal that Mount St. Helens exploded. It happened in that year, but there was only 2 other natural disasters that year, right? And you're like, what the fuck, bro? Like, why were there so many now? And you go, oh, well, because the climate change is actually happening, and we're just, here we are, living in it in real time. I don't know what we're going to do. I ask people to vote. I try to get people to vote, and then, people unsubscribe and call me a cunt, and yell at me and stuff and tell me I'm a piece of garbage, and it's like, you guys can't even, not you guys, but a lot of people just can't even bother to vote. How are we supposed to fix climate change if we aren't even voting, So I don't know. I mean, the level of propaganda is kind of beyond the pale now, and I'm not sure what we're supposed to do to counteract it. I was talking to somebody who they told me that, well, I'm just going to continue building my wealth until I get to the point where they're essentially like as rich as Jeff Bezos or something, and then once they have that kind of money, then they'll be able to do something about it. Which, first off, there's no guarantee you'll ever have that money, right? There's no guarantee you'll ever be able to make it to that level. 100 people have, or whatever, over the years, and the last time it happened, the Great Depression happened, right? So the idea is that, so if you're like a capitalist, you're just going to capture all of the capital until you're like the lord of the land or whatever, and then you're going to suddenly make a decision that says, oh, I have morals and whatnot. So wait, and that's the thing that doesn't make any sense to me, because if you had no morals along the way, why are you suddenly going to acquire them later once you have all of the money? What? Makes no sense to me. And a good example, like Zipgun lives down in Florida, says, yep, climate change has arrived. What's wild is how many insurance companies are no longer insuring anything in Florida, right? Like, the insurance companies are leaving. Like, they're leaving Florida. They're like, no, we can't. We can't insure anything down here. I was reading about that a while ago because somebody was advocating for DeSantis, and I was like, that guy's an idiot. And I was like, well, a good example would be he's trying to sue the insurance companies that are no longer in Florida. Like, he's gonna sue them to come back. He's gonna sue them to come back to Florida. Victor Coco says, Corvus, hi, it's summertime. Yeah, it is summertime. Yeah. Yes, it is summertime. Correct. Farmers Insurance, Bankers Insurance, and Lexington Insurance, a subsidiary of AIG. AAA is not renewing a very small percentage of higher exposure homeowners policies. Yeah. Yeah, Farmers Insurance is actually just like, nah, we're not going to insure in Florida anymore. Yeah, according to an analysis by the Insurance Information Institute, homeowners in Florida pay $6,000 a year on average for homeowners insurance, up 42% from last year. The average in the U.S. is $1,700. A depleted supply is partly responsible for driving up those costs, but not as much as litigation, according to Friedlander. Um, yeah, it's kind of wild because a friend of mine in Florida was trash talking the fact that the gas prices here had reached all high, and I was like, "Well, yeah, but how much is your how much is your home insurance?" And they were like, "I live in an apartment," and I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, okay, sick burn, bro, got me." Yeah, look at that. In Florida, nearly 15% of homeowners do not have insurance, which is double the national rate. Yeah, that's wild. The big problem with billionaire projects are they stop other things that may have a more effective result. Yeah, actually, that's one of the big things of one of the big problems with the idea that, oh, well, I donated to charity. It's like, okay, what did you donate? 0.5% of my income. Okay. But they go like, yeah, but I make $1 billion a year, so it's a lot. And you're like, yeah, but you didn't pay any taxes. So if we're talking percentage proportional, right, then it sort of doesn't matter because it was just a tax write-off essentially for the little bit of remainder that you might have had to pay in taxes. And then the bigger programs don't ever get funded. Florida has like a 5-day warning, and cars are still submerged with storms. Well, yeah, because Florida man doesn't evacuate when they say to evacuate, right? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Vitra says 2 times the amount burnt in Canada this year over last. 13,000 hectares, the equivalent of New York State in size. Yeah. I'm not sure what there is to be done. I'm not sure what there is to be done about the Canadian wildfires. Um, yeah, apparently Canada is going to deploy the army to help fight wildfires. I know that's been done here in the States when things get out of hand. They like to send in the Marines. They don't like to send in the army. Nearly 400 fires are burning in British Columbia, while the nearby province of Northwest Territories has witnessed more than 200 wildfires. Yeah, and I mean, it's just sort of beyond the pale. Like New York State size amount of land has already burned there. Canada will deploy the military to tackle fast-spreading wildfires in British Columbia. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said on Sunday, the Western province deals with nearly 400 fires that have led to the evacuation orders of more than 35,000 people. British Columbia declared a state of emergency on Friday and imposed a ban on non-essential travel to free up accommodations for evacuees and firefighters. Canada is grappling with its worst wildfire season on record, with more than 200 fires burning in the nearby province of the Northwest Territories. Yeah, the air quality is hazardous. I mean, that's the crazy part. Like when the air readings are over 500, right, on our scale. I think Canadians' scale goes from 1 to 10. Yesterday, we were checking up on one of the areas that some family was supposed to be visiting, and the scale was on 11. Yeah. The insurance companies are what is driving a lot out of Florida. Okay, I was having problems reading that sentence. They will not underwrite insurance companies who operate in Florida. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's like if your boss tells your if the boss tells your manager to tell you to do something, that's, it's like that. It's just the chain, right? It's like from up on high, up on the perch, the boss's boss said, we're not doing that anymore, right? Which is the same result, ultimately, in my mind. Zip Gun says, no, we evacuate if we need to. Category 5, I'm not sticking around. Cat 4s make me really nervous. Cat 3 and lower, not evacuating. Yeah. I mean, understandably, one of the big issues with, talking about hurricane season in Florida is that, like, it is a big state. You could be potentially 300 miles away from where the hurricane is, and it's just going to be windy at your house, right? So, obviously, Florida is not just one place. It's not just one spot on the map, There's a big area going on there, so they give out where they think people should evacuate from, and if they don't, then I don't know what to say. But we're of course relying on experts to say, hey, we think it's going to go this way, it's going to go that way. Here's the most likely trajectory. Like, if you're in the path, you should go. And if you don't want to heed the warning, then I don't know what to tell you. What is that? What's with the rebranding of Twitter? It's so stupid. Elon Musk is an idiot. That guy sucks so bad. Oh, definitely not a fan of that guy at all, even remotely. I have it's definitely different from screen to screen. I don't know. I think I need to fix this monitor over here. This monitor has definitely a lot more gray in it than this monitor over here. I think somebody might have reset that one. Vitra says, yes, brown sky here in southern Alberta. Yeah, it has been smoky here for the last 3-4 days. It's been a bit rough on the respiratory system. You're not supposed to be outside as much. Luckily today it cleared back up a bit, although the sun is obscured and all that. But the lower air where the humans are breathing down here closer to the ground is get some freshness coming up off the ocean. So that's good. We got that going for us right now. So at least we have air to breathe, even though the sky's not clear. Even though it should be clear, it's not. Hey, everyone. Hey, Mickham. How you doing, buddy? Joel, you reminded me of Christopher Walken. Look, we evacuate when it's needed. I would like to meet Christopher Walken someday. He seems like a hoot. I probably won't. He'll probably die before I get the opportunity. Because how old is that guy now? Christopher Walken. Age. Let's see how old he is now. He's 80? Oh, sweet mother of pearl. I'm probably not going to get to meet him. He's only 6 foot. I thought he was taller. I guess he hangs around actors who are like midget people, though, so he probably looks taller. He's pretty skinny, too. So he's probably 6 foot, pretty thin, right? So 6 foot, pretty thin, standing next to a chonky short guy. Probably makes him look tall, right? Born in 1943. Well, that's how that works, right? If you're 80, you go back 80 from 2023, and then you get 1943, right? Born during the war. I wonder if he's a war baby. Is he booming out? He's a boomer. Bob De Niro is 80 also. They're the same age. Oh, my God. Oh. Although De Niro just turned 80 4 days ago. 4 days ago. 4 days ago. I'm probably never going to get to meet those guys. They're pretty old. They're probably going to croak before I'd get a chance, you know? Where did my chat go? I lost my chat window. Oh my god. Kelowna, BC. West Side fires have jumped the lake. Oh, great. Saturday, the wildfires were raging a mile a minute, causing its own weather pattern. Yeah, that's when things start getting real funky monkey. For sure. The Bokoff fan is here. What's up, buddy? Yeah, the hurricane storm yesterday was not fun. There's a plethora of pretty dramatic reasons why, but needless to say, the path of said storm was hot garbage and completely inaccurate. You're talking about the hurricane in California? By the way, the last hurricane in California was 1939. I learned that earlier. Hurricane California. Da 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 da. Hillary drenches Southern California with record-breaking rainfall as storm wreaks havoc. Yeah. Remnants of tropical storm Hillary, a Category 4 hurricane when it was churning in the Pacific before crashing ashore in Mexico, brought record-breaking rainfall in Southern California, flooding roads and causing mudslides and rock slides as it barreled north. While Hillary is expected to dissipate Monday. It's just going to dissipate? It's just like, fuck it, we're done. People as far north as Idaho were warned the storm could cause flooding in their areas. Hillary was downgraded to tropical storm prior to making landfall over Baja California, Mexico, Sunday before becoming a post-tropical cyclone. We got to figure that out. Over the weekend, people could not figure out typhoon, right? How do you know if it's a typhoon or a hurricane or a cyclone? How do we know? Okay. Oh my God. This is why it's confusing. Okay. This is what I was trying to figure out yesterday. Okay. Centuries ago, European explorers learned the indigenous word hurricane, signifying evil spirits and weather gods, to describe the storms that battered their ships in the Caribbean. Today, hurricane is one of the three names for giant spiraling tropical storms with winds of at least 119 kilometers, and 74 miles an hour. Called hurricanes when they develop over the North Atlantic. Okay. Hurricane, North Atlantic. Central North Pacific and Eastern North Pacific. These are rotating storms known as cyclones when they form over the South Pacific and Indian Oceans, and typhoons when they develop in the Northwest Pacific. How does any of this make sense? Right? How does this make sense? So, hurricane, North Atlantic, North Pacific, and Eastern North Pacific. Cyclones when they form over the South Pacific and the Indian Ocean. Okay, cyclones over there. And typhoons when they develop in the Northwest Pacific. Okay, whatever the moniker, tropical cyclones can annihilate coastal areas. Okay, we get that. We get that the storms are dangerous. Hurricanes begin as tropical disturbances in warm ocean waters with surface temperatures of at least 26.5 degrees Celsius or 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Those low-pressure systems are fed by energy from the warm seas. Yeah, we get that. Hurricane dangers? Yeah, they're dangerous. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That was all just like a bunch of other crap. But maybe we learned something. I don't know. Still confusing as all get out, because you have to kind of know like where they form, and it's not really like hurricanes, Atlantic Ocean, and typhoons, Pacific, or cyclones, Pacific. I don't know. What a cluster. What a clusterfuck. As Hillary was raking across Southern California on Sunday, a 5.1 magnitude earthquake struck near Ojai, northwest of Los Angeles. According to U.S. Geological Survey, the quake didn't cause significant injuries or damage. Okay. Getting earthquakes and a hurricane simultaneously. Look at that. Flooding expected. National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center said flood watches were in effect for Southern California, Northwest Arizona, much of Nevada, Southwest Utah, Eastern Oregon, Western and Central Idaho, and Southeast Washington. What? Is this supposed to rain here? What? I didn't see. Hold on. That stupid weather app don't work. I'm going to use the one on my phone. Let's check the one on my phone. Is it going to rain here soon? Let me check my weather. Boom. Wednesday, light rain. I think we'll be fine. Because I'm a survivor. I'll be able to survive the light rain, guys. I don't know if you know this about me. There's one thing that I can survive. It's a light precipitation, and 70, what is it going to be, 79 degrees? Yeah, 79 degrees and light precipitation. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it, kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make it. I'll be thriving, bros. I'll be thriving hard. Turgid, even. Corvus, will you enjoy the supermoon of August 31st this year? I believe I'm going to be, hopefully, where I live, you don't know if there's going to be clouds or if there's going to be smoke, right? There might be smoke that's acting like clouds. That's a very big possibility because that's currently what's happening right now. We have smoke that's acting like clouds. You know what I mean? Is it overcast today? No, it's over smoke today. I don't know what you call it. Is it overcast today? No, there's smoke. Bunch of smoke up there doing its thing. And that's what's up. The 31st is a Thursday, so that's probably not going to be perfect for the viewing. But I do believe I'm going to try to be around a mountainous area to try and get some supermoon action if it's going to be clear. I love a supermoon. Supermoon's fantastic. I'd love to do some long exposure shots of said supermoon if I can. And get some moon shots, you know what I'm saying? Moonshot, baby, right? So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to check out the supermoon. It would be best if we were down on the property. I don't know if anybody that's watching today even watched our little my video I released earlier today. I released a video earlier today, and I hope you guys know the current change of my employment status will mean I'll be making a lot more YouTube videos. So now's your time to become a member. All right, when the hotness is dropping. Don't wait till after. Don't wait till after the hotness has dropped and then be like, oh, look, I've been on the bandwagon this whole time. Because it will be unverifiable, right? Yeah. Let's see. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So it would be best to be at the property, I think. But it's pretty difficult there to do kind of nighttime shots because there's a lot of trees in the area. But I do have a secret spot where I can go to and get some nighttime exposures. I do a little driving around. I do a little sneaking around, drive around, hike up to a spot. But it definitely is a spot where you do have to kind of be cognizant of what is on my nose. I think there's drywall dust on my nose, and it's bugging me. What is that? Yeah. So what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. It is kind of a weird spot where you do have to watch out for animals. There's a potential coyotes, mountain lion, bear type situation this time of year, most realistically. So you got to be kind of on your toes, on your tippy toes in that spot, in the secret spot, you know. Scott Shrimp and stuff says I drive the wagon. I'm confused by that, but I agree. We've had a rainy summer here, water damaged houses in the western and middle parts of Sweden, but nothing like the impact of the U.S. I guess Canadian fires plus drought is crazy. Heat dome in central North America. Yeah, that heat dome. The heat dome was not good. The heat dome came down. It dried up a bunch of Canada, and now Canada's in fuego. You know what I mean? Like there'd be fire. There'd be fire everywhere. I wonder if there's a better picture to illustrate. Let's see. Right now. Let's go right now. Yeah, look at this. No. Oh, this doesn't seem to include Canada. Yeah, currently right now in Washington State there are 3 highways. There are 3 like main highways that go across the state, east to west. I-90 is closed to get to Spokane. Highway 20 is closed because of a fire. And Highway 2 is closed because of an avalanche triggered by a fire, apparently. So, yeah, it's super wacky. Oh, yeah, and I-90, I think, is closed because of a fire right here. Where's that? Hannon Creek. Close that. So we need to find one that just shows North America. Apparently Texas is on fire pretty bad. 62,000 acres are on fire in Florida. Or in Texas. Sorry, not Florida. Why did they say Florida? Oh my gatos. Washington's bad. Montana's bad. 22 fires in Montana. California, 35 fires. Texas has 282 fires. What's going on in Texas? Do you guys even put anything out? What's the deal? Did you just let it go? Maybe they're doing the Canadian thing where they're like, yeah, there's just too many now. Okay, we want the fire and smoke map, I guess. Close this. Maybe this is what we want. No, you can't have my location. Yeah, this is what's going on. I'll show you guys this. This is what I can show you. Yeah, this is what's going on right now. This is the fire and smoke map. So the smoke's doing this right now, which is wild. Trim this down a little bit. You guys probably don't need to see all of the ocean over here, right? Because generally speaking, the ocean doesn't catch on fire, except in certain instances with like oil rigs and stuff. So then sometimes the ocean does catch on fire. But this is what's going on right now. You can see all this. Where's my arrow? Where's my comical arrow? I'm going to bring back the arrow bros. Bright yellow arrow. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at all these fires. So we got all these fires going on. You got all these Canada fires up here. And the smoke is just funneling southward. And then there's a big fire over here. Oh, I gotta enhance. Here, enhance. 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 All right. Here's Washington. There's Washington. Okay. Can you see it? Wait. What? What's going on here? I gotta see where you guys are seeing. Oh, weird. Let's fix it. We gotta extend. Like that. Okay. So, over here. Hey, grab the arrow. There we go. There we go. Over here. That's that big fire in Spokane. And then all the smoke's going over here, and it's coming down. It's coming down. It's just going over here into the mountains, and it's coming over onto this side. But it's not good. This does not look good. This is not what you would look at and go like, wow, that's a good looking fire map. Look at that. It looks good. It's not good. This is the opposite of good. Mount Rhodes fire, 150 acres. No perimeter yet. This one, Airplane Lake fire. Well, we just enhanced. We zoomed in like crazy. Man, we can zoom right in, bros. Look at this. We can get close. Look how close we can get. Indian Head Peak. I've gone up this peak right here. Indian Creek to Indian Head Peak. I've gone up this hike. I should go back, except it's on fire right now. North Fork of the Sauk River, dude. Yeah, dude. Oh, my God. Let's go for it. Darrington, is there a fire outside of Darrington? 134 acres in flames. No recent fire perimeter available. Or I guess maybe we're not even containing them anymore, are we? Yeah, I don't know. Everything's on fire, guys. You know? That's what's happening. Everything's on fire. All right, let's get this arrow out of here. There. Oh, let's see what's going on here with the chat. Just saw the video. Attraction at a theme park in Germany collapses. Crazy. What? All right. Let's check it out. What is this? What happens? Is this bad?
Of course it did. You did great.
Wow, the whole thing just all fell apart.
Whoa.
That guy just bailed out, and he was like, I gotta go.
You did great.
Is that the one?
I don't think so.
I don't know. You know, I'm gonna say something here. Might not be couth, I guess. It might be uncouth. Is this an attraction? I don't even know. This looks like something that was put together. This looks like something that was just like assembled together, and they just stuck a bunch of water in it. This looks like when somebody like really inexperienced builds a plywood aquarium and then wonders why it floods their house, right? I mean, that's what that looks like to me. Not good. Not good, bros. Don't get some experience before you build the water feature like that, you know? Maybe get an engineer involved. I don't know how you'd get away with that in Germany, but my guess is that those people are going to be out of business. They're going to be out of business is what I'm guessing. That would be what I would guess. It's probably not going to go well for him, you know? Vitra says, when I was driving around the rural areas, the wheat was only 1 foot tall. It's supposed to be 3 to 4 feet tall. What's up with that? Why is it so low? The wheat should be robust by this point. I'm gonna search Google for that. Was it this pool one? Because the one I found was the pool one. Why is this not loading? Here we go. Yeah, that's the one? Okay. Yeah, I mean, luckily nobody died, nobody drowned or anything. It's just like 7 people were injured. A spokesperson for Europa Park said it was probably a material defect that caused the return of the Pirates attraction to come crashing down in front of stunned onlookers. Yeah, I don't even... I mean, obviously, if you watch something like that break, you know, like, obviously it wasn't a good idea, however they put it together, you know, like, you know, hindsight is 20/20, right? Like, bad idea, boys. But yeah, dude, like, what are you thinking, man? I don't know. But luckily no one was hurt, so that's good. I have an actual question though. Let's see. You have an actual question? Hey, any question's an actual question. I do have an actual question though. The find the water things in the ground stuff. Have you ever messed with doing dowels, a magic technique for someone who can find it that way? Oh, you mean dowsing? It's called dowsing. Right? Did I spell that right? Yeah, dowsing is a debunked technique for searching for underground water or other things using the motion of a held object like a stick or a pendulum. Now, here's the thing. I've seen people accidentally do it and it work, right? Does that mean it works? No. I wouldn't I wouldn't put my faith in it, right? I wouldn't put a lot of faith in it. Now, if somebody wants to do it on their own property and it ends up working out and then they have confirmation bias of the fact that they were like, I thought that this old thing would work and then it worked and then they're like, yeah, look, it works. Okay. A lot of times if you dig a pipe deep enough into the ground, you'll hit some kind of water down there and you'll get water coming out of the ground. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. That's why we dig wells, right? So I don't put a lot. It is funny. It is funny to watch people do it. And it is entertaining, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. I don't put any faith behind it. So we wanted to find the water in the ground at the property. The water in the ground, it's not like we were looking for where to dig the well, though. We were trying to find a pipe that attached to a pipe that had a valve on the end of it that was in the ground. You know, man was there before. The well already exists. There's already water, right? We were just trying to find that. If you're, you know, if you're around, if you're a part of the community, if you're on the Discord, I found it, boys. It's a big deal. I found it, and we have water there now. I don't have a 500-foot hose to get water down to where I want it, but needless to say, we got water there, and we're going to have some water there, and it's accessed now. So all good things are happening on the water front on the property. So that's all good. Right now, we're generally dealing with the ins and outs of it being a family-owned property and sort of negotiating on like what should be done there, what shouldn't be done there, what the future should look like there, like blah, 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 blah. A whole bunch of stuff like that. On a personal front, this last week, just like 2 days ago, I got all of the wood milled up that was left over. All of the logs I had left over here, we milled all of them. We made all of them. I tried to sell some wood at the garage sale. We had the garage sale. The garage sale happened. We got rid of a bunch of stuff. Garage sale accomplished. Wood is milled. Sheetrock is in. I'm on my final coat of, I got to do some 90-minute hot mud here this afternoon. And if it's dry, I will start doing the sheetrock primer. I'll start painting the primer tonight. If that hot mud is done and we're good to go, I will be primering the fish room tonight. So there's just good stuff happening. I got to admit, I love milling lumber. That is a lot of fun. That is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. I was looking at my step counter. I believe I walked 13,000 steps, and all of them were back and forth from the mill carrying wood generally. And yeah, buds. So the wood is milled. I got a big stack of lumber again. I'll be making some videos about stuff that I'm building out of that, which I think you guys will be pretty excited about. I know that I'd gotten a message from somebody or a comment from somebody or whatever that was like, hey, can you show us your chicken coop? I'm confused about chicken stuff or whatever. I'm building a new chicken coop. I'm going to be making a video of that. The fish tanks are getting set up very, very, very soon. I'm very excited about things that are happening right now. There are some depressing things that happen. I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't work at Aquarium Co-op anymore. I'm not employed anymore. So your boy's out here trying to find some money. I'm trying to scrape up some money. We'll see how that goes. I'm no longer associated with them, so I can say fuck and shit and whatever I want now on the internet. I can say whatever I want. I'm not limited by the commercial aspects of being on the internet because I'm not with a company anymore. I'm with my own company, and if somebody's mad at me for dropping F-bombs on a live stream or whatever, hey, that's my own deal. And I'll be like, yeah, all right, go watch some other YouTube channel, I guess. And they probably will. Right. So a lot of things are happening, and a lot of good things are happening, and a lot of weird stuff is happening, you know. Yeah. Oh, the cool team says it's official. I have announced it to my community, like on Patreon and Discord. They know. And it's not something I'm really like publicly talking about that much because it's really not anybody's business. But needless to say, I'm not employed by that company anymore. I'm not representing anything to do with that company. So I'm not associated with that company anymore. Just so that people know. Eventually people will find out. If you want to ask me what happened, I'm probably not going to tell you. Ask somebody who works there because it's not my problem, right? Yeah. Let's see. Every time I watch videos of people having their own house on the countryside, I want to leave the city. That's the weird thing. Yeah, every time I watch videos of people living in the wild, I'm like, damn, dude, that's what I want to do. But I also want to live in the range of being able to access amenities. Does that make sense? Like, one of the big downsides of living way far out, there's no health care, right? There aren't clinics. There aren't emergency rooms. There aren't urgent care. There isn't regular hospitals. That's like a perfect example of a big-time problem in the United States. If I lived in Sweden, for instance, I would live way out because y'all got healthcare figured out, right? So even if you do live in the sticks in Sweden, you're like, hey, I'm the Swedish. I live up in the mountain, and you're like, I'm on this mountain now. It's not a problem because at the very least, you have a culture, right? That the community is important, right? The community isn't all for one and one for all or whatever. The hell is going on out front? Oh, it's Vicky. Victoria's outside banging around on the door. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she needs help or something, but she hasn't called me or anything, so we'll see. Hello? Oh my God, it's a spooky ghost. I was wondering who's messing with the door. It was you. Oh my God, she's a spooky ghost. You hear that in the background? Spooky freaking ghost. But yeah, like if we lived in Sweden or something, we definitely want to live out there. For sure. One of the downsides in the United States is that like almost everything here is a commercial endeavor as far as healthcare goes and stuff like that. So if you get into an area with a low population, like there generally is not going to be any service there, right? So we have family members that live up in Alaska, and Alaska is a perfect example. They have to fly down to Seattle to get care from the doctors and stuff. So, if you have a problem up in Alaska, chances are they're going to be like, yeah, we got to send you down to a specialist or something down in Seattle in another state. 5.5 hours on an airplane. Yeah. $240 Canadian for a round bale of hay. That is crazy. That's almost worth driving down to the States. Because I saw a round hay bale, $17, I think, the other day. But that's in Washington, so it might be fuel wise. It might not be worth it. Awesome. I'm designing a chicken coop to build with my dad and looking for chooks to put in it. Yeah, actually, there's 2 times a year, sort of fall and spring. I guess fall and spring are the same, obviously, in New Zealand. It's just at different times of the year. But generally, those times of year are a good time to find some chickens. And I would check with local farm supply stores, stuff like that. They normally is where it's easiest for us to either find somebody that's bringing them in or they're just bringing them in. Second real question. Per old video, Flip Aquatics visiting your fish tanks, did you make the kitchen table with the fancy wood you had set aside? How did it come out? Yes, I did make a kitchen table out of some fancy wood. Yes, I've done that quite a few times. So whatever the specific one is, I don't remember. So yeah, I mean, I've made lots of tables in my day. I would have gladly made a table for here and made a video out of it, but we actually have an old family heirloom kitchen table thing from Vicky's great uncle or something like that. Vicky family has had that. It's really old. The table that we have there is, I mean, it's not really old. I mean, it's probably like 150 years old, maybe 125 years. I don't know. It's old enough. It's old enough that it has handmade nails in it and all that. So we have an old kitchen table, and Vicky does not want to replace it. So I was like, yeah, I want to make something. She was like, no, we're keeping this. And I was like, you got it. If I don't have to make something and you have a thing that you like, then we're good. Yeah. Yep, you want to have a small town close. Yep, a hospital in every small town. That's the thing. That's the big thing to me. That's the big difference in Europe versus, or not the big difference, one of. Yeah, it was a flips video with Vicky talking about some thick wood, dope wood you guys got on sale and we're planning to use for. That was probably that cedar wood. I actually have a couple pieces of that left. That I'm probably going to turn into trim, I think, maybe. I'm not sure. I have ideas in my head of what I'm going to do, but I don't want to spoil them, you know. When oil wells are drilled, they send down sonic and density tools to map the ground. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, if you're digging a water well, it is a lot more educated guess / like, we know there's an aquifer here already. It's a lot of that, right? We have an uncle that used to drill wells, and I was actually asking him about that, how you go looking around, and they go, well, generally, somebody has dug a well already in the area, and you can go basically see how many feet deep is it, or how many meters deep is it. And you can sort of just guesstimate off of that, like, oh, somebody dug wells here 100 years ago, and they hit water at 300 feet. So you could be like, I'm guessing that's probably where the water-ish is going to be. And you start drilling until you hit water. And if you don't get good drinking water, then you got to pick another spot and try it again. Digging for water is pretty, digging wells is pretty like hit and miss kind of situation. Will M is here. I remember for 38 months, which is amazing. Thank you very much, my guy. That is buck wild. Thank you, dude. At this time of no income, it is much appreciated. What up, peeps? Hope everyone is staying cool. Yes, I have been staying cool. That is very important to me. I get sweaty boy. I've been a sweaty boy recently. Climbing around the attic, doing wiring for the fish room and stuff like that. It was incredibly hot last week. I was getting crushed. I was a sweaty boy. I was moist. I was moist as all get out. I was moist AF, right? And I was not enjoying it. I was getting chafed, you know? Getting chafety balls, you know, and that's no fun. And, there's only so much cornstarch in the world, right? Baby powder, right? To dust them up. I have family in central parts of Sweden only. Thing is, there is not a lot of jobs. However, we've one of the best national grids for internet cable services in the EU. A long-term project sponsored by the state. Yeah, that's also a huge difference from the States here. Can you believe some houses that we looked at buying, the only thing available was DSL? Do you guys remember DSL? DSL is what came out right after they switched from the phone modems, right? Phone modems, they went, right? They stopped using those. They switched over to DSL. It doesn't have to dial up. It has its own line. Some maniacs out there have been living off of DSL internet. And by the way, they had the gall. They had the balls to say that this house has high-speed internet. And I'm like, you have high-speed internet? Oh, okay, cool. Like, what is it, a gig? 2 gigs? What is it? They're like, it's DSL. And I'm like, you fucking lying. You are dirty, rotten liars, and you do not have high-speed internet here, and I'm calling foul. I'm calling foul on this. This is BS, you know. And they were like, well, it's better than my cell phone. And you're like, yeah, okay, that doesn't mean it's high speed. I don't know. What's wrong with your cell phone? And they like pull out the Zach Morris cell phone. And by the way, if you don't know what the Zach Morris cell phone is, we got to look that up real quick. Zach Morris cell phone. This thing. You got to see this. You got to see this. If you're old enough, or if you're young enough, or if you're young enough, or you're old enough, I don't know. The phones used to look like that back in the, what is this, the 90s? Let's get the images. Okay, here we go. Ad source. If you don't know who Zach Morris is, I highly recommend take a trip down ancient history and watch a show called Saved by the Bell. It'll give you an idea of what people thought was cool in the 90s. Look at this. Look at this disaster. Look at that cell phone. What is going on here? What is this? But I think the people were still using those cell phones in the area where they thought DSL was a big deal. You know, they thought DSL was high-speed internet, which is just malarkey. You know, straight up malarkey. And I am pretty jealous of the EU, especially a lot of the countries in the EU, sort of establishing that like fiber optic was vitally important to get done. And big thanks to Big Daddy Dark Brandon Joe Biden for including fiber in. What was his plan called? Biden infrastructure bill. What the hell was the infrastructure bill called? I forget now. The bipartisan infrastructure deal includes $1 trillion, not $1 trillion for internet. So let's say the infrastructure bill, fiber internet. I don't know. Let's see if that'll probably get it up. $14.2 billion for the Affordable Connectivity Program, which provides eligible households for up to $30 a month. Let's see, where is it? Today, the Department Broadband Equity Access Deployment. $42.45 billion grant program created in the bipartisan infrastructure law and administered by the Department of Commerce. This announcement awards a range of $27 million to over $3.3 billion, with every state receiving a minimum of $107 million. 19 states received allocations over $1 billion. Oh, Washington is included in that, baby. Hopefully we'll see some fiber optic getting out there to some of the weirdo conspiracy theorist Washingtonians that are just out there and out their damn minds. In addition to helping connect everyone to America to high-speed internet, this funding will support manufacturing jobs and crowd in private sector investment by using materials made in America, blah, blah, blah. Here it is, fiber optic. Fiber optic cable manufacturers CommScope and Corning announced $47 million and $500 million expansions of their domestic manufacturing to start putting in fiber optic about 20 years too late, okay? So better late than never. That's the situation here on our hands, all up in our laps, all up in our jars, all up in our biz, you know what I'm saying? About 20 years too late to get the fiber optic, but hey, the EU already has it. And they pay much lower rates than we do in the United States. And that bums me out sometimes because I'm like, dude, who are you with your fancy internet, European man? And they're like, just doing it. Will M. with a $20 super chat for the tip jar. Thank you very much, Will. That will help pay for the internet. Dude. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. As I've mentioned before, employment has changed. I don't have income, so unemployed guy over here. And so, like I said, over the next little time here, I'm looking for a gig. I've been, of course, going out and networking and going to places and getting my resume out there to people and things like that. And yes, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And in the meantime, I'm also hammering down on YouTube. The chance of reviving this channel. This is the redemption arc. That's what this is called. This is the redemption arc. This is the time to see if anybody actually wants to follow my YouTube channel, basically, right? Like, does anybody actually want to help invest in me making content as much as I can. It's something that I personally would not be opposed to making a full-time job if that is in the cards. But so far, that has not been in the cards. I've definitely had to sell my blood, my sweat, my tears all over town to make it happen. And yeah, I will either have to do one of two things. I'll have to sell my blood, sweat, and my tears to the internet community, or I'll have to do it to the local community. And so it is possibly on the table of going back to restarting my handyman gig, my handyman business, which I basically would be starting over from scratch again, which is painful, and it's a big it's basically just starting all over again. So that's going to be a big pain in the ass, and it's going to be rough to get going. But you know, you got to do what you got to do. I got to feed my kids I got to feed my kid and my spouse, and it's got to happen one way or another. So if kidneys could be sold, I would have sold one already. Will M says, I must have been gone for a while. I totally missed what's going on. It's basically new news today. It's been a few weeks, but I haven't really been talking about it too much because there really isn't much to talk about publicly, right? Other than that is currently where I'm at, right? Yeah. Mickham says, interesting fact, in Boliden, in the northern parts of Sweden, one of the recent mining findings may support our economy for decades, they say. Important metal mineral for batteries or new tech found. Huh. Let's see what that is. Mineral. Gold was discovered 1924. Okay. Let's see. It looks like you guys are known for gold in Boliden. I know I'm probably saying that wrong, but yeah. I'm not seeing anything new. July 18th. Here we go. Sweden says it found the largest deposit in Europe of rare earths. Rare earths. What does that mean? Oh my God. Is this the image they always use for Oh my God, I think we were talking about this. I recognize having read this article. Yes, I think I read this article. When you finally reach the bottom more than 4,000 feet beneath the Earth's surface, you discover a complex of brightly lit offices, a cafeteria, and even a car wash. That's right. This is the crazy crap that goes on down in the ground here. What is this rare earths? This year, the company made a game-changing discovery at the mine. Mixed in with the iron ore were rare earths, a raw materials that are used to power motors in wind turbines, electric vehicles, and a range of other products that are critical for the transition to clean energy. The company said it found the largest known deposit of rare earth metals in Europe. The discovery of the deposit, known as Pergeiger, comes as many European countries like Sweden try to develop energy independence. That includes breaking a reliance on China, which dominates the world's supply and processing of key materials and minerals, including rare earths. It also comes as European countries seek to switch from fossil fuels to renewable energy. Sweden has known rare earths. Why are they just calling it rare earth deposits? This makes no sense. What is it? Let's see. I don't know. I guess it's just called rare earths. I don't know. I've never heard it called rare earths. So I guess we don't know if it's lithium or what. We don't know what it is. Let's see. Rare earth. All right, rare earth elements, also known as rare earth metals or rare earths, or in context, rare earth oxides, sometimes in the lanthanides, although yttrium and scandium, which do not belong to this series, are usually included. There are a set of 17 nearly indistinguishable, lustrous, silvery white, soft, heavy metals. Compounds containing rare earths have diverse applications in electrical and electronic components, lasers, glass, magnetic materials, and industrial processes. Okay. A table listing the 17 rare earths elements, their atomic number and symbol. Okay, so scandium and yttrium are very common and are dumb, apparently. Lanthanum, cerium, praseodymium. I don't know. Praseodymium. I don't know what that one is. Neodymium. Promethium. Europium. Gadolinium, terbium, thulium, ytterbium, erbium. Erbium, named after the village of Ytterby, Sweden. Okay. Yeah, so there's all the elements of it. So there's 17 elements. Okay. Interesting stuff. You guys can just watch me read articles. Yeah, I didn't see lithium on the list of the rare earths. Handyman channel with a twist. You've got a great personality and a way of explaining things. I'm going to keep posting whatever content to this channel I want. Whether it be digging holes, whether it's building chicken coops, whether it's doing fish tank stuff, I'm just going to keep posting content here. Mainly because I feel like it is an encumbering waste of time for people to go around like looking at all the other channels. Now, I may take clips from those videos and put them up on other channels for like a shorts channel or something like that. But if you are following this channel, if you're a member on this channel, if you're a Patreon, if you're somebody who does Patreon, I will be posting to this channel. The live streams will be on this channel. Everything will be here. Okay, so I am starting some other channels for like gaming content, but I will probably stream it here and then turn it into a video and put it on those other channels. So those other channels will be where like short edits and stuff like that will end up, because I mainly just want to get my content out there. So, but this channel is what it is. I have to redo the banner and stuff just to explain that, like, you know, somebody came and they were pissed at me because they were like, I don't understand, bro. Like, you're not talking about fish tanks the moment I showed up. And you're like, oh, okay, dude, I'm a human. I'm not a robot. If you want a robot, go find an AI robot to serve your every moment encapsulates aquariums thing that you got going on. Like, okay. But, yeah, you know, I will keep posting content here. I'll keep putting my content here. Just so everybody doesn't need to suddenly go out and do a bunch of work to like go find it, which is, I think, fucking bullshit, realistically. Daniel Velez with a $30 super chat says, coffee, ice cream, or anything for the fam, hoping you get a job soon. Yeah, I mean, finding a job is going to be not incredibly difficult. It's just which direction I want to go with things, right? Yeah. Because, obviously if I start my business, I got to get my bond and my insurance and all that, put that back into place. That costs money. It's all that stuff. And then starting to book jobs and going down that road. If I'm going to go down that road, it is a thing. It's possible. If I want to go back into self-employment like that, then I can. If I want to go back into just full-time self-employment, whatever, or, get on over one of the unions and get started over there. They're all possibilities. We're back 300 to 400 years in time before we know what to do with these findings. We need a linguist to go fix these minerals. That's right. I don't know. A lot of those minerals, I guess that's why they're calling them rare earths, because it's like, ain't nobody making a whole lot of heads or tails out of that. Probably a mix of elements that are going to take a lot of progressing to separate out. Yeah, that seems to be the case, or processing. It's going to take a lot of processing, obviously, to break it up, but I guess finding it is a big deal, and I guess it apparently breaks free the dependence on China to go find it, I guess. So either way, sounds like a win-win to me if it moves technology forward and we can continue to lessen our pollution. Good. Sounds good to me, because everything's on fire, right? All right. Yeah, so I think it sounds like good progress to me, good news to me, and I endorse it. I endorse the good news. What is Vicky doing back there? I'm gonna go find out. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Back to the stream. Okay, it turns out she was doing trash bags or something. I don't know what was going on back there. That was wild. She was organizing something. Yeah. So, yeah. Robin Guppy Art, yeah, for more content. Fish Tank Gardening, Handyman Gaming, all of it we are here for. Thank you. We'll definitely be doing more, that's for sure. And like I posted a video today, which was a short, just kind of, it was like a short, not super edited or whatever. Nothing too crazy video, but talking about the property, mainly so that people would have an introduction to the videos that will be coming about the stuff that I was doing down there. So people aren't like, what the hell is this all about? It's like, hey, go back and watch the other videos, dude, and then that will explain it. So yeah, we're doing a lot of that. And like I mentioned, we got all that wood milled this weekend, which is it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, and I'm glad we got it milled up. All that space in the yard is back. It's not occupied by freaking, 15-foot logs that are insanely difficult to move around. I had some of the big dogs. Some of the big dogs were out there still. One of them was about 36 inches around. That's about as big as we could possibly handle, maybe, right? And, that thing was probably, I don't know. Kevin thought it was probably at least 8,000 pounds. We managed to wrangle it up there with man strength, and we got it up there. We got it on there. We got it cut up. That thing was basically like almost too big for the mill. So we had to cut round parts off, turn it, round parts off, turn it, cut round parts off, turn it, so we could get the blade in there. But ultimately it was, like I said, it was a good experience. It was a good time. To be honest with you, if I could mill wood every day, that would not be a bad gig. I don't think I'd be too pissed about doing that every day. That would be probably fine by me. Cool team. I can't hear any kerfuffle. Sounds good on my end. Yeah, I have my mic settings and everything set up so that you guys probably don't ever really hear background noise from anything. But needless to say, she was right there on the other side of a glass door. And I could hear her bonking around and shuffling the plastic bags and paper bags around. I guess she was organizing. You know how ladies save the grocery bags? They save all the grocery bags, right? So she saves them. And then the next thing you know, we have a whole bunch of them in a bag. And they may or may not be in the right bag now. Now, the bags are not in the right bag. Right? And, that can be a problem. That can become a problem when the bags are not in the right bags, right? So then you got to take them out, shuffle them around. That's what she was doing. No new members today. Oh my God, we didn't even get any new members today, guys. What the F is going on with my mouse? My mouse is covered and smothered in dust. I'm gonna need to brush all this dust off. How's it getting all this dust stuck in it? Dust, boys. Dust in my mouse. My mouse has been riddled. How do we turn it off? Hold on, let's turn it off for a second. There we go. Now we can rub it. There we go. We're rubbing it. Rub the mouse. Rub the mouse. Get the dust off of it. Looks like belly button lint. It's not really dust. It's like lint. There we go. All right, we're working. We're back. We're cooking with gas fire. Cooking with gas and fire. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go over here. Click on that. Whoa, are we 2 hours in? We're 2 hours in, boys and girls. Bag full of bags. That's right, dude. Bag full of bags. I'm also looking for a new job here. I've been into leasing of aquariums 15 plus years, some years as a teacher's assistant for 10 to 12-year-old kids, and jumping from job to job, taking care of old parents for now. Yeah, I understand how that goes. I was writing my resume a couple weeks ago and realizing that, every 3 or 4 years I have a different job, and I've been working since I was 16, and so it's oh, look at all that stuff I've done. Wow, I've had such a worldly career here so far of doing all sorts of things. Yeah. Robin Guppy Art. Do you stream to other places on the internet? Well, so sometimes I stream on the Discord. Sometimes I stream on other people's channels. Like if I get invited to somebody's live stream or whatever, I'll stream over there. I used to do a Tuesday night podcast with the Australian crew, but some people got mad at me because I didn't endorse somebody I didn't know's they were doing a fundraiser for health problems, and in the fundraiser, they were video that they needed money for health problems. They were smoking cigarettes in it. And I thought, like, my initial opinion was, I don't know who this person is. You guys sent me this video because you want me to endorse this fundraiser for somebody's health problems that they're having. And in the like, 12 to 15 minute video that they were explaining that they need a bunch of money for their health bills, they're smoking cigarettes in the video. And I was like, this is a really bad look, right? Like, this is a really bad look. It's like an alcoholic asking for, I need money for my liver replacement, and they're drinking booze in the video. You'd be like, what? It's like, oh, you're having lung problems and you have health bills because of your lung problems, and you're smoking cigarettes asking for money for, and I was like, I was turned off by that. That's extremely disrespectful to me from a standpoint of like, every month I get a bill for the content creators that I support. It's something in the range of like $48 or something, because I support a bunch of channels that I appreciate their content and I support their content. So I am somebody who pays out some of my money because I want to help support creative, enlightening, educational, whatever you want to call it, endeavors, entertainment endeavors and stuff like that. So I support channels and I support people's GoFundMes and stuff like that. But if you're literally like, I'm having lung problems, I have like lung cancer, and you can't not be smoking for the 15 minutes to make that video, I'm like, that's a doozy for me to be like, wow, I should really get behind this cause, right? And I didn't feel good about it, and I spoke my mind just the same way I did right now, maybe slightly different wording, but I was like, what is this? Like, why? This is crazy. And a lot of people got really mad at me because that person was apparently a part of the Fish Fam. I don't know who that was, but there's somebody making videos on YouTube and stuff, and so that, I guess, immediately exonerates them of any criticism, especially because they were having health problems or whatever. And I'm like, hey, man, just because somebody's a part of a community doesn't mean it exonerates their behavior, right? Like, especially if you're a public-facing person and you're publicly presenting yourself to ask for money from people, then I think you open yourself to some criticism of like, hey, maybe remake this video where you're not smoking cigarettes in it. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's too much to ask. Maybe that's just too much effort or something. I don't know. But a lot of people got mad at me about it, and they're still mad, and they won't let it go. They're super mad about that, and I respect that people are mad about that. And if they want to be mad about it, they can be mad about it till the end of time. They can be mad about it until Frodo throws the One Ring into the volcano and Sauron ends up dying, right? Because I'm just like, what do you want me to do with that situation, right? And the thing is, like, to be clear, guys, I used to smoke cigarettes, okay? I'm a former smoker myself. It's not a hypocritical stance of being like, hey, what the fuck, bro? Like, I would expect anybody to say the exact same thing to me in that situation of like, what are you doing? Now, admittedly, I had lung problems in the past. I've had a collapsed lung. I've had pneumonia. I've had a bunch of other things. Some of them from smoking, some of them from not smoking, right? The first time I quit smoking, I only quit for like a year after I'd spent, close to 2 weeks in the hospital, blah, 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 all that stuff. And, at the time, I was still drinking and doing drugs and stuff, so I accidentally started smoking again, and boom, I was like right back into it. And then I said, you know, you only live once, blah blah blah, every excuse under the book of why I was smoking at the time. I was still a young guy, so you don't really, you know, when you're a young guy, you don't really see the effects of how negative that is going to be on your body over time, because it's just the progress is real slow, but it eventually adds up. You know, I quit smoking 5 years ago now, maybe. Yeah, about 5 years ago now. I know for sure I haven't smoked since Olivia's been alive, and she's gonna turn 5 in in like 2 months, right? So, you know, it's not an easy thing to do. I still chew Nicorette gum, right? I've talked to multiple doctors. They said the worst known side effect for chewing nicotine gum over a long period of time is the worst side effect is diarrhea. You may or may not have diarrhea sometimes. And I'm like, well, I don't typically really have that big of a problem with that, so probably okay. And they're like, yeah, you're probably okay. Just keep it to a dull roar, right, kind of situation. And they're like, nicotine's not bad for you. There isn't a bunch of sugar in the gum, so that's not bad for you either. It's generally okay for your teeth and your gums. I've gone to the dentist multiple times, so they're like, hey, this is a habit that you could do for a while. They said, we would encourage you to eventually try to switch over to regular gum, but this is so much better for you than smoking that they essentially advocated for just do that if you're not going to be smoking anymore. And also, I've been sober from alcohol, cocaine, heroin, all that shit for the better part of 9 years now, 9.5 years, I think. Let me check my freaking calendar, dear. That is not my calendar. Where's my calendar? It's over here. Ding. It has to load. 9 years and 3 months. So not 9.5 years. 9 years and 3 months. I'm not a math wizard sometimes. 3,387 days. So my doctors were on board with that combination. They were like, "Fuck yeah, that's awesome. Let's do that." Right. And so I was like, okay, you know, I've been around and around with my doctors, and I was like, that's all good, you know. Let's just go ahead and I'll just do this, and because I'm not smoking cigarettes, then it's good. Will with the $10 super chat for the demonetization of the video. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will regularly get demonetized now. I've tried to explain over the years that, like, my channel is not for kids, right? But the worst thing that happens on my channel is some language, right? Some swearing, right? I might say shit, I might say fuck, I might whatever, right? I'm not designed for your kids. But if we're talking about your kids, 13 and under should not be really watching YouTube channels realistically, right? Like, let's be honest here, right? And 13 and up are going to hear swear words and know what swear words are, right? So, in my opinion, this channel is not for hyper-religious weirdos, pearl-clutching weirdos, right? The kind of people that hear somebody say bullshit and they, oh my God, the wind just goes right out of their sails and they just can't believe the insanity. Or they're like, oh my God, someone with tattoos, oh, you're going to hell, you know? And I'm like, I don't believe in any of that weird hokey nonsense that was made up. That it's not real, right? So yeah, my channel is not made for those people. My channel is not made for people that think Hank Hill is a real person, right? I don't. My channel is not for. It's not for them, right? It's not for them, so they can go watch something else, right? Doesn't matter to me. Does not matter to me. But my channel is what it is, right? Yeah. No pinball or else. What? What's the no pinball or else? I don't know what that is. Kids seriously swear a lot these days. I can clue you in on something, Nabokov fan. Kids have always been swearing, right? If you want to look up a group that recently had their I think it was 40 years. If you want to look up a group called NWA. N period W period A period. Is it the 50-year anniversary or 40-year anniversary? It might be 40-year anniversary, right? Oh my God! What? Why are there so many things named NWA? I don't understand this. All right, here we go. Let's try to look this up. NWA, which is an abbreviation that you'll have to look up yourself, was an American hip-hop group formed in Compton, California. They were among the earliest and most significant popularizers. Is that a word? I don't know. And controversial figures in the gangster rap subgenre. And the group is widely considered one of the greatest and most influential groups in the history of hip-hop music. Active from 1987 to 1991. So yeah, they formed in 83, right? Active 87 to 91. Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, MC Ren, DJ Yella. I don't know who Arabian Prince is. I have no idea who that is. But when I was a kid, this rap group was insanely popular. And if you want to read some of their lyrics and their lyric sheet, I will clue you in. Kids have been swearing since at least when I was a kid. You know? I don't know. You're talking about pinball, and I don't know why you're talking about pinball. It's wild. But on a personal note, we do have a family member that buys and restores pinball machines and says that he restored a pinball machine and wants to bring it here for Olivia. So there may be some pinball content for real all up in here. All up in this piece. There will likely be some minor content about a pinball machine. Some of the Fish Fan people have their channels to have fun and enjoy, plus join socially relaxing live streams. They produce no content vids, so they need not to stand responsible for anything. It's a big difference. A big difference with what? I don't know. I mean, I make content. I need to get back into making more content, and I've started making more content. I'm editing a bunch of stuff that I have been sitting on the shelf for a long time. And so we're going to be putting that out, and we'll see if it's positive, negative. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But, you know, I'm likely going to get demonetized on my live streams. Now, here's a little clue in for you guys. And I can actually show you guys this. I want to show you guys something. Here. I can legally show you my stream info here. Look. So here are the latest live streams that I've done. This is us right now, today. So this won't matter yet. Limited, aka demonetized, last week. Limited, aka demonetized the week before. I did a risk stream and a risk stream in basically the evening hours. I did 2 of those. Those are not demonetized. 3 weeks ago, limited, demonetized. limited or no ads. We did a boring stream 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, because we skipped one in between here. That one has is monetized, but it doesn't really matter because it's a live stream and no one's really watching it. post Hawk or whatever. Limited, right? So just to give you an idea, like most of the live stream content, if the live stream is going to make any money, honestly, it's not going to be from advertising. It comes from memberships and super chats. That's it. And so if we have no memberships and no super chats, we're basically not making any money for our live stream. So that's just how YouTube works now. That's how it is, right? And that's okay. It's okay by me because it's like, hey, what's the business model? Here's the business model. Okay, all right, and we just move on, right? Personally, from a personal standpoint, I have been regularly sort of censoring myself from the point of not trying to shed a bad image on a company that I previously worked for. And that was a decision that I made to sort of self-censor, to not create a lot of antagonism directed at people that don't even have anything to do with it, right? But now I can just talk about if I think a socialist idea is fine. I can think about if I think abortion rights are important and paramount in the United States. I can talk about whether or not reforming, gun laws are probably a damn good idea, and creating a better system for that, which, by the way, most people don't like my idea of a system. My idea of a system is that there should be a tax-funded training program for everybody out there, and if you go through the training program that's tax-funded 100%, and you are through regular intervals of testing your skill and ability, that is, by the way, all tax-funded, you should get essentially free guns from the government and ammo from the government, because if the Second Amendment is accurate, then that's what it should be. All of the citizens should be a part of the militia, and it shouldn't cost you a goddamn dime. And you shouldn't have to join the Marines or the Army or the Air Force in order to do that. So, that's a perfect example right there, that people would be like, oh my God, that's so controversial or whatever. But it's like, hey, I think it's bullshit that people with a lot of money have all of the free time and cash and availability to own a bunker full of guns in their backyard or in their basement, right? And poor people have no real way to defend themselves against criminals, and poor people generally live in areas with higher crime rates because there's less policing, there's less, neighborhood watch, there's less, there's just... Poor areas are susceptible to having a lot more crime going on in them than rich areas. And is that debatable? I guess. But gated communities generally have less crime going on from the outside, Zipgun says, I joined the Army Reserve so I could fire a howitzer. That is I like that. That is good. I like that. 2 thumbs up. 5 thumbs up, Skog Shrimp and Stuff says, which pays better, YouTube or Patreon, like the lowest fees? PayPal. Which is why a lot of channels have PayPal or that kind of stuff where you just anonymously collect money from fans. YouTube is fine. Patreon is fine. They both have fees. Patreon has less fees technically. I think Patreon's fees are close to 10%. YouTube's fees are like 30%, I think, or something like that. I'm not sure. Either way is fine, and very much appreciated. One of the reasons I say that YouTube memberships are good is that, yes, I might pay higher fees on that money, but it will eventually prioritize me. If we had enough members, we'll eventually get prioritized to YouTube, right? To the platform itself would eventually be like, hey, we need to check out what's going on with this channel, right? Obviously, there aren't 1,000 people even watching right now. But if we had like 1,000 members, YouTube would be like, something's going on over here. We got to get some communication with this channel going on as to what we could do to work together, right? The only acceptable reason for gun use is it's fun. I don't think so. I think the only acceptable use for guns really is hunting and protection, right? Like Switzerland. I think Sweden doesn't Sweden have Sweden gun lockers. What the hell is that called? Don't you guys have? Doesn't Swedish have? Or doesn't Sweden have? Don't you guys have the place where you can go check out your gun and go shoot and stuff like that? I don't know how to look this up right now at the end of a stream, but I definitely could look it up. And you guys have hunting too, right? Okay, here we go. We might have found it. Yep, it's needed. We have licensing for guns. Yeah. There you go. It might be Switzerland or something like that, but I thought it was Sweden. It might be Denmark. It might be, I don't know, one of you Nordic weirdos that have like the public shooting ranges and all of that, and like everyone has their guns locked up at a gun club and things like that, where it's regulated, but everybody gets to go shooting, and you have to be licensed and that kind of stuff. But you guys are also, it's the same thing, the idea that everybody would have a level of readiness as a militia, right? Obviously, we do live in a different age now where there isn't really going to be a lot of ground fighting where your country's just going to get invaded on the ground. But also at the same time, Putin's a psycho and he might just invade a country because he's doing it right now. The Ukrainians probably, the Ukrainians were probably hoping that that the reports and stuff were sort of inaccurate, that they were getting ready to invade, but they have invaded, and it's been a war there now for well over a year. And there are troops on the ground, and there's stuff like that. And I think that, it might be Swedish, it might be Sweden, it might be Switzerland, it might be Denmark, it might be whatever, it might be Finland, I don't know. But one of the countries there, I know for sure, because I watched a little documentary on it, that the locals are able to go get their guns, go shooting, and then lock them back up in a place separate to their house. And then if they need to go hunting, you can go check your firearm out. They check you out with a certain amount of ammunition because they don't want you just out there shooting a bunch of bullets out into the trees and God knows what. So you do want to be taking accurate hunting shots and stuff like that. So I don't think it should ever be that restricted in the United States, but that system is at least a system that makes sense, and it does curtail a lot of the stupid violence that ends up happening here. Oh, the Jim Jeffries. Yeah, that Jim Jeffries stand-up is actually quite good. I think he's kind of fallen off in the last little while, but I think that happens often with comedians. They get famous, and then they have to do those big shows, and when you're doing big shows like that all the time, you have to just have that hard-hitting good jokes, and they never really have time to like work out new material and stuff like that. I think that's what's happened to Jim Jeffries, because he's doing big venues and he was doing shows, TV shows and all that stuff. I think he was just doing too much stuff, and I think if he got back to just working some smaller stuff for a while, I think he would come out with some more stuff that's as brilliant as his earlier things. 100,000 mooses need to be put down to maintain an okay population, so in September, all hunters take their vacations. That doesn't sound bad to me. I love going moose hunting, and I probably would love to go on a moose hunt in Sweden. That would be you put that down, and you could put that down. Mickham, you could put that down on my bucket list, baby. I want to go hunt a moose in Sweden. Hunt a moose in Alaska, that's passé, my friend. That's passé. That's blasé. That's so... Moose hunting in Alaska? Whatever. Moose hunting in Sweden? Aha! Yeah. That sounds good. That sounds good. I'll have to check that out. What were you talking about? If you want to learn more, there's an in-depth article on the History Channel website called "The Time America Outlawed Pinball." Oh, yeah. Okay. That was the pinball, the devil's pinball money. Yeah. Anyhow, it's 4:20. Haha, wink wink, nudge nudge, you weed guys. I don't smoke weed, but it's 4:20 for all you weirdos on the West Coast and wherever the 12 hours around the planet is from here. It's 4:20, which means I have just enough time to go put a coat on my sheetrock before I got to go pick up the daughter. I got to go pick up my little tiny munchkin, the cutie patootie, Captain Olivia Pants, my beautiful daughter, whom I love desperately, so much. She is the best, and I can't wait to hang out with her tonight, because tonight is daddy night, and we will be able to hang out and have some fun. Will M, $20 super chat and a $10 super chat. Thank you very much. I 100% appreciate it. Daniel Velez with a $30 super chat. Thank you, Daniel. I very much appreciate it. We got member from our producer, Skog Shrimp and Stuff. Thank you very much. And I appreciate all y'all for supporting the channel. I understand that some people you're not financially available. But hitting the like button and watching streams and stuff is essentially free. So if you want to do that stuff, I appreciate that support too. And it does not fall on deaf ears that you're like, hey man, I'm always here hitting the like button and leaving comments. I appreciate it 100%. Like Shelby Ray Lane, perfect example. Shelby Ray, shout out at the end of the stream, even though you weren't here during the stream. Shelby Ray has a new grandbaby, so leave a comment later on. Congrats on the grandbaby. And I'll see you guys probably sooner than later. Probably a Risk stream tomorrow night. All right.